The first scripture I want to go to is, I want to start off with Habakkuk 2, verse 3. So let me get that. Bear with me for a minute. Because if you can't see that we in the last days, then you're not part of the elect. Plain and simple. Okay, we got it right here. Like I said, this is Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter and the 3rd verse. The whole chapter is good. It says here, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end, which we're in the end, if you're in the know, if you're part of the elect, it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So, because I came into this truth back in the spring of 1985, so I had to have patience, and I had to wait, because the prophecies wasn't coming to pass back in 85, 86, 1990. When things started really popping off was really when the World Trade Center went down, and from there it was all downhill. They went to the U.S. military forces went into the Middle East, and they've been in the Middle East, and they're going to stay in the Middle East. The boys ain't coming back home. So we're in that time. We're in the time of the end, and things are getting serious. And these devils, Esau, to this day, they don't know what's going on, and they watch us on YouTube, and they have their little opinions about us, but they don't believe that what we're saying is the truth, because they don't believe that we're the prophets of the Most High. They don't want to accept the fact that we're the Israelites. Okay, so from there I want to go to Second Esdras, the 6th in the Apocrypha, the 6th chapter, the 18th verse, down to about the 25th verse. Okay, let's go to that. Okay, that's here. 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, the 18th verse. And it says this. And it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth. Hurricane Sandy was one visitation by the Lord through the power of the angels, through the order of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. 19th verse, and will begin to make inquisition of them, what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness. We know that's talking about Edomites. And when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled. So Zion, the word Zion, as you should know, if you've been in this truth for a while, the word Zion means monument, memorial. What is the memorial of the Most High? The children of Israel. All right. Let me read that last part again. It says, and when the affliction of, because we're being afflicted right now, of Zion, Israel, shall be fulfilled. So we're in the time of the fulfillment of our affliction. We're at the end of our affliction. All right. It says, 20th verse, and when the world that shall begin to vanish away, Esau's world, shall be finished, then will I show these tokens, signs. The book shall be open, and the scriptures are being opened through GMS and other Israelite groups out there that's pushing this word. All right. It says the books shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together. Yeah, you're seeing us on YouTube, different websites. So there's a lot of people out there through thanks to YouTube and Daily Motion and the web itself, that a lot a lot of Edomites and a lot of Jakes have seen us on these different sites, mainly YouTube. It says, 21st verse, and the children of a year old shall speak with their voices. Because back in the day, a child had to be a year and a half, 2 years, 2.5 years before they start speaking. Now you have children that within a year, 9 months, 10 months, a year and a half, they start speaking. So that's another token that we're at the end of this thing. All right. 21st verse again. And the children of a year old shall speak with their voices. The woman with child shall bring forth untimely children of 3 or 4 months old, preemies they call them, and they shall live and be raised up. And that's been happening for the last I would say 20 years. 22nd verse. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And anytime there's a major disaster, the first thing that goes empty are the shelves in these supermarkets. People go crazy buying water, buying canned goods, and so forth. And like I said, they don't know how to prepare. They don't know to prepare for this thing, but really you can't prepare for the end of the world anyway. You have this show, which is mostly Edomites. It's called, I believe it's called Doomsday Preppers. And they're coming out with a new season, I believe, this coming Tuesday. And basically, when you watch this show, and I try to catch it, when you watch this show, it's mostly Edomites, digging underground shelters, building mountaintop retreats, teaching their children and their wives how to shoot crossbows and bow and arrows and so forth, because these Edomites know something is coming. They don't know that the Lord is coming. They don't understand that the Most High is bringing destruction to them. They just think it's just nature coming against them, just people bugging out. Because that goes back to Daniel, the 12th chapter, where it speaks about them not knowing. Matter of fact, I'm going to read the next scripture I'm going to read after I finish this one. It says, 22nd verse, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. And that's what's beginning to happen. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. In other words, you're going to have water shortage. You're going to have drought. 25. Whosoever remaineth from all those that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation, the end of your world, the end of Esau's world. All right. Now let me go real quick, since I mentioned it, to the book of Daniel. Daniel, the 12th chapter, and the 10th verse, and then I'm going to jump to the 13th verse. Bear with me for 1 minute. And when you're dealing with Jake, you got to know how to read spirits. There's Jakes out there that's just not of the elect, so don't waste your time trying to wake them up. The Most High give you the opportunity to see in the spirit of a Jake, to know that he may be part of the elect. Okay, this is Daniel, the 12th chapter, the 10th verse, and it says, many shall, and it's talking about this time, of course, many shall be purified and made white